Hello, I'm Adam Liaw and welcome to The Cook Up, the show where we've now outsourced everything to ChatGPT and it's going really well. No complaints, please don't send help. We're perfectly happy with our new AI overlords. On tonight's menu, prune and chicken tagine with pistachio couscous, 5-spice pork and lettuce cups, and hot smoked salmon salad. Let's say hi to our guests. Bryony Dawson is a multi-talented entertainer, sports commentator, vocalist and MC who refuses to call it a family gathering unless there's a Chang's crunchy noodle salad on the table. Welcome, Bryony.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Michael Mosley.
And the loud man at the end of the table is Dr. Michael Mosley, the author of Faster Sleep and presenter of the Fast 800 and his new SBS doco-series, Australia's Sleep Revolution. He's also very sleepy, but that's why he's here in Australia, to put his body on the line in the quest for better rest. Welcome, Michael.
Brilliant.
Woo,
and I am a cook show virgin. I've never done a cook show before, so whoa.
Really? So most people would know you as the inventor of the 5-2 diet.
Yep.
And you've never been on a cooking show before.
I've never been on a cooking show. I've done plenty of cooking, but always in the privacy of my own home.
I feel incredibly privileged.
You're the first.
Bryony.
Yes.
A Chang's crunchy noodle salad.
Yes.
Can you explain to me what it is to start?
Well, it's fresh out of Frankston, where I grew up, mate. And it is, Mum found it one day, and it's the salad recipe is on the back of the Chang's crunchy noodle salad. And it's the most delicious thing that you can ever have at a dinner party.
It does contain about 8 cups of sugar or something.
It absolutely does. I remember the first time I made it, I was like, oh, wow, no wonder it's so great.
Well, we're not making that today, but let's find out what we are. Eating, talking, and yawning. 3 things usually done with your mouth wide open. Tonight, we're going to try all 3 at the same time. Forget counting sheep. Tonight, we are eating for a good sleep.
Like that.
I am an absolutely terrible sleeper. Bryony, how about you?
Yeah, I'm not a great sleeper either, so I'm very excited about this.
Brilliant. What's your problem?
Getting to sleep, no problem at all. I like hit the pillow, straight to sleep.
Yep.
And then I wake up and then the thinking happens, you know.
3 a.m.
3, 4, around there. If it's 4, I won't be getting back to sleep. If it's 3, I've got a good chance of around 5 of slipping back in again.
Very typical, and indeed, interestingly, if you look on Google Trends, the time when people are looking insomnia or sleep is 3 a.m. That's when it's the most searched after term.
I'm not alone.
From crowd, exactly, yeah.
Well, OK, I want to talk more about this, but I should do that while I'm cooking, hence, that's what the show's all about. I have no idea what the ingredients for a good sleep are, so I Googled them. And the only reason that I did that is so I can now make a chicken and prune tagine with pistachio couscous. I'm going to start my chicken tagine with some chicken thigh cutlets. So these are on the bone, skin on, and I just want to marinate these very, very simply with some turmeric and some salt, like a very classic beginning to a lot of curries, tagines, that kind of thing. And so I mix that around, and I've actually already done that, so it's browned off in the pot here. Michael, the reason I am making this dish is because when I Googled what are the ingredients that you should use, it was using these things that would have something called tryptophan in it. Yep. So nuts, prunes, these were kind of the things that I'm led to believe might help me. Can we, through what we eat, sleep better?
Yes, but almost certainly not via tryptophan.
OK.
Because the problem is that tryptophan does not easily cross the blood-brain barrier.
How disappointing.
Yeah. However, that said, there is a lot of evidence that what I describe as a Mediterranean-style diet is really good for sleep. And that means oily fish, olive oil, nuts, veg, things like that.
That's what I'm cooking here.
You just don't call it a Mediterranean diet because you're calling it a Moroccan diet, but essentially
it's sort of almost around the
absolutely.
The Mediterranean.
Exactly. Those elements, though, are exactly the ones that you've got there. And also the protein is good.
Very confusing. So I've actually just made my couscous here. Well, not made it, but I boiled some stock and water, so about 1 cup of each, and then I've added 1 cup of wholemeal couscous to that and turned the heat off. So I'm going to let that sit, and it's going to absorb the liquid, and my chicken is already grilled. So I'm just going to take that out, put that to the side, and dump into this pot a bunch of onions just to start frying off. So that already had some of that olive oil in there that we're talking about.
Olive oil, brilliant. And the onions are full of fibre called inulin, which is very good and good for sleep and also good for cutting cravings.
You're blowing my mind, Michael. So I've just thrown in here with my onions now some carrots, a little bit of ginger in there as well. And And I'm going to start to add ingredients back in now. So the chicken can go back in. And then I'm going to add a bunch of things that will turn this tagine into something, hopefully, quite delicious. I'm going to start with some stock. Some chicken stock going in there. To that, now, powdered gelatin, because usually they remove the gelatin from your commercial chicken stock, so when you buy it in liquid form on the shelf, it's not gluggy and looks gross. And so I'm adding gelatin. I know it's weird. I'm not trying to make jelly here, but the gelatin is basically just trying to replace what would have been in a homemade stock to that.
Brilliant.
A bit of ras al khanoo. You could use garam masala, any kind of spicings, baharat, that kind of thing. I'm going to put in some prunes here because when I Googled them, they contain something that help you sleep. Now Michael tells me it's all a load of crap.
Prunes are nice, and they also have fibre. So fibre is good.
Okay.
If you're going to have sugary stuff, have it with fibre.
I'll boil that away for a bit. And after about half an hour, it'll look a little bit like that. Bryony, you're an athlete, you're also an entertainer. You know, they're two careers that kind of don't really work well together because one's late at night, the other one's often early in the morning.
Yes.
How do you look after your mind, body when you're doing things that are kind of so diametrically opposed?
It's a really good question, actually. It's something that I don't think I've even mastered quite yet. And last year was a perfect example of that. I finished a gig like 1 a.m. I had to be up at 4 to get to host a footy show on Sunday morning. By the time I got to commenting on the game later that afternoon, I was literally live TV in an interview with the coach. And I just had no words. I was like, and he's looking at me going...
Yeah, she needs more caffeine.
And I just had to try and... get it out, but your brain function on no sleep is just cooked.
It's cooked and people don't even recognise it, which is why they have car crashes. The secret there is you have to, if it's late at night and you're driving, you pull into a service station, you have a strong cup of coffee, you go and have a nap in the back of the car because it's going to take 20 minutes for the caffeine to hit your brain. So you then wake up, you've had a bit of a snooze, the caffeine has hit peak efficiency at that moment in time, and that should be able to get you home. Or, of course, you have to go and, find a quiet place to sleep. But a lot of car crashes caused by sleep deprivation.
In my couscous here, I should say, I've just thrown in some parsley, some lemon juice, some pistachios, salt, and then a bit more olive oil just to flavour that up quite nicely. And that is just about it. Michael, your career has very much been about dispelling myths about our bodies and the understanding that we had about the way food interacts with our lives back then is, I think, very different to how modern science tells us now.
One of the biggest explosions has been research into the microbiome, into gut bacteria. Everyone's heard about it now. But 10 years ago, almost nobody would have heard about it. And so you've got this 1 to 2 kilos of microbes in your gut, and there are like 1,000 different species down there. There are at least 100 trillion microbes in your gut, as many as there are cells in your body. And indeed, a scientist with too much time on his hand calculated that because your poo is mainly made up of dead bacteria, when you go to the loo, briefly you are more human than you are microbial. Something to celebrate the next time.
That's really good.
That's awesome.
And thank you for bringing that up before we're plating up the chicken.
Absolutely delicious. But a lot of the benefits of food, it turns out, come from the impact they have on your microbiome. Anyway, that looks absolutely delicious.
Oh, thank you. I'm just going to finish it off with a touch of yogurt because I like yogurt. Probably also good for the little guys.
Lots of good fermented, it's a good fermented food. It's got lots of probiotics, lots of living bacteria in there.
A bit of parsley, a grind of black pepper, and that will be our chicken and prune tagine with pistachio couscous. So the idea behind this was that it was going to have all this lovely tryptophan and in the pistachios and the prunes and everything. Now that I know it doesn't often cross the blood-brain barrier, it's just got to taste good now at this point.
Yep.
And you've nailed that.
You've nailed it, yep. The flavours go really nicely together.
Yeah, there's a beautiful sweetness to it.
Yeah, that touch of sweetness with the prunes, because often you'll see tagine recipes and I put honey and things in there, but I think the natural sweetness from the prunes and the carrots is a little bit nicer. When we return, Bryony and Michael will be wide awake, making their food a good sleep. Welcome back to The Cook Up. Insomniacs, we have your backs tonight because we are eating for good sleep. Host and vocalist Bryony Dawson and acclaimed medical journalist Dr. Michael Mosley are here in the kitchen. Michael, what are you making?
I'm making a hot salmon salad.
Sounds delicious. Bryony?
I'm making a 5-spice pork lettuce cups.
Very nice. 5-spice pork lettuce cups and a smoked salmon salad. Bryony, that's some pro cutting technique you have there.
Yeah, well, I was just showing off because I'm on your show and I'm trying to impress you.
You're doing good. Like that's, you're holding it the right way, you're cutting the right way. Full marks, really.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So, pork and 5-spice lettuce cups, the old san choy bao.
The old san choy bao, yes. It's
possibly Australia's national dish. We love it. Like we love it, don't we?
We absolutely love it, don't we? So yeah, it's from a gut health recipe that I've used before, and it's just sort of uses coconut aminos instead of soy and that kind of stuff. So it's good for you. We can get the health check later from Mosley.
These are an interesting ingredient. Like coconut aminos, they're essentially a vegan umami thing. So it's fermented coconut in the same way that you might ferment, say, soy sauce or fish sauce, but it's just done with coconut. So it's sort of a slightly sweet but almost vinegary in a way.
It's got a really, really good flavour, and I think that's what makes this recipe as good tasting as it is.
So pork into a pan?
Pork into a pan.
Just pork mince?
Pork mince. And then we put in the 5-spice as well.
So no need to kind of brown anything off first?
No, we're doing it all together.
Good.
So we're going to put in the spring onion as well. We're going to put in the grated
zucchini.
Zucchini, yes. Thank you for that.
That's,
and I'll grate in a little bit of ginger in there as well.
Okay. Fantastic. So this is like a whack it all in the pan, cook it, then put it in the lettuce cup and eat it.
Yeah. Simple.
Like it. All right, Michael, the hot salmon salad.
Yes, absolutely. So what I'm going to do now is I've chopped up the broccoli and I'm going to shove that in and just cook it very briefly. Okay. Broccoli is super good for you, as I'm sure you know. So we're going to have fish and broccoli, but we're going to have a few other things. I'm throwing in some edamame beans as well. You can have them frozen. Indeed, frozen veg, as you know, is very good for you. So
there is a real stigma, or at least there used to be, before people kind of worked it out, that frozen veg is in many cases very high in the vitamins and things.
Oh, 100%, because it's basically, it's out the field, it's frozen peas and things like that. So, people think it's inferior, but actually it's perfectly okay. It's looking nice and bright and green.
It is. When it sort of brightens up like that is good, and then I give it maybe 30 more seconds because we are not shocking it in ice water, which is, I prefer not to do that.
Absolutely. It's what you sometimes do just to crisp it up, but I like it warm. So
let's take it out there.
Absolutely.
And then it will continue to kind of steam in its own
What you need is plenty of different vegetables. So you can see here I've got this, I've also got some spinach here, I've got some avocado, and this is going to provide some delicious oils and fats. And you can't come to Australia and not have a dish with avocado. It seems to be something that everybody absolutely does.
It's green and gold, they're national colours.
And I've got some lemon juice as well I'm going to add, because one of the interesting things is if you add lemon juice to vegetables, it helps extract some of the nutrients. For example, the iron out of the spinach over here.
Where do you stand on fat in cooking? Because I feel that we have, and I'm very happy to have like an expert in the field with me. I think we're a little bit too paranoid about keeping fat out of food.
Well, I have to say, I think it's changed a lot over the years, because originally everything was low fat, and that meant it was very high sugar. Now sugar is the demon, and it's probably gone a bit too far that way. But I'm a huge fan, particularly olive oil.
Yes.
Olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, fabulously good. We were talking about the Mediterranean diet, and although this is not exactly a Mediterranean dish because it's got edamame beans, which not many people in Italy or Greece would have traditionally cooked with, it has green veg, it's going to have the olive oil, it's going to have the smoked salmon here, really delicious, adds flavour to it, full of omega-3, really good. And the combination of these things is going to be terrific, I hope.
Very nice, very nice. It's not entirely Mediterranean, but maybe it's like Mediterranean meets Okinawan, and we have all of the healthiest diets in the world.
Brilliant.
All righty.
Smells good, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Have these gone in there already?
Yeah, I've just put a teaspoon in of each. I'm just going to have a little taste.
I like this because in terms of the taste profile, you've got the fish sauce, for umami and salty, and then the coconut aminos for kind of sweet, sour umami.
Okay, needs a little bit more of both.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting excited, Adam. I'm getting very excited.
So, how would you rate your cooking skills? Are you the one who puts their hand up to cook when cooking has to be done, or are you an avoider?
No, I'm an avoider.
Okay.
Big time. But I love it at the same time. Like I guess it comes down to like love creating things.
Yeah.
And so whatever that is, yeah.
I think cooking's kind of got to play a part in your life. Like, to me, it's stress relief. It's practical in the sense that I need it to eat and live.
Yeah.
But look at your skills, Bryony.
Did you see that? That was a good one. I was like,
from the chopping to the pan tossing, it's like, oh, I avoid cooking, but I'm actually brilliant at it.
Yeah, I could be great at this. Who knows? We've got time.
So that's going to come out. It's going to go into these lettuce cups that you've prepared here. Look at that. That's beautiful.
That's very well cut, isn't it? Yeah. So we're going to do that. We're going to scoop it out. We're going to put a little bit of avocado, squeeze some lime juice, and it's going to be so good.
You know what I think it is? Because you're a sports person. It's that natural dexterity.
Yeah.
Is, okay. Yeah. You're looking good at it.
So that's looking good. I've just been flaking the salmon. I actually have left some people. Do you like the skin?
Depends. Like, for smoked salmon, more often than not, I'll take it off.
Yeah.
But if it's like salmon that I can crisp in a pan, crispy salmon is one of my favourite
delicious, isn't it? Yeah. For this, I've taken it off, and normally I'd give it to the dog. We have a dog called Tarry, and it's very good for her coat, and she goes crazy for it when she knows it's coming.
So what are our other ingredients, and why are they good for us?
Right, absolutely. So we got. I'm going to put in some raw spinach, because you can cook it a bit, but I actually like it raw. It's got iron. It's got lots of other things in it. When I add the lemon juice, that will help to extract the iron from it. We've got 3 different types of green veg, if you like.
Wonderful and vibrant, doesn't it?
Lovely colours, yeah. So this is one of my wife Bailey's recipes. So she's the person who really introduced me to food. I met her at medical school more than 40 years ago. At that time, I was essentially eating sort of, ham sandwiches or Spam most of the time. Really, I had a terrible diet.
You could say that's the Okinawan diet. They eat a lot of that in Okinawa,
Yeah, they do. But she really started introducing me to food. And so she's played a big part in my interest in food since.
All right, well, let's throw it in.
Absolutely. So a couple of handfuls of spinach here, probably that'll do. Probably chop them up a bit. Let's just throw all the other things in. So we'll add the salmon. Now, salmon contains omega-3, which is good for sleep. And the avocado, as I said, is just delicious and tasty. Huge fan. How much chili would you add? I'm a fan of chili.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, go for it.
Your life.
Exactly. There we go. I love using my hands. And 2 tablespoons of olive oil, because olive oil is brilliant. And also, it's anti-inflammatory. It is a key part of the Mediterranean diet. And it is delicious.
So the lemon will go in and sort of help us to extract the nutrients
That's
from
the one. So you
those.
just kind of give it a bit of squirt. Lemon obviously has got vitamin C, but lots of other good stuff. So, yep, this is absolutely packed with nutrients, lots of different veg, and the whole point is you're trying to eat the rainbow, but you're also trying to get in super healthy fats, like the stuff you find in smoked salmon.
Amazing. Plump the pillows and make the bed, because after the break, I'll get to try Bryony and Michael's sleep-promoting recipes. And Michael will share his do's and don'ts for a good night's sleep. Welcome back to the Cook-Up's quest for a good night's rest. Entertainer Bryony Dawson and TV presenter / insomniac Dr. Michael Mosley are finishing up their food for good sleep. Bryony, how's it looking?
I'm ready to go, mate.
Michael?
Yeah, just give me a final stir.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
Lettuce cup.
Lettuce cup.
Lettuce cup. Not lettuce plate.
Lettuce plate in the lettuce cup. We'll put a bit of that in there. And then I like to put a little bit of like avocado on top here.
Oh, it really is becoming Australia's national dish, isn't it?
Like a little bit of spring onion, a little bit of chilli.
Looking great.
And then the little squeeze of lime. This is where the flavour really comes out.
Just that freshness of something a little bit acidic, and then the lime sort of sweet, sour. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Michael.
Yep, I'm done.
Okay.
So looking good, I think. Nice,
Yes, it
nice sort
is.
of warm, comforting glow to it as well.
Yeah, I love that it's warm, and I love that it's slightly melted some of the fats in the avocado, so it's almost added like an extra dressing component. Shall we put it on the plate?
Yes, please. I am not very good at presentation, so can I hand that one over to you?
All right.
Claire,
All right.
as I said, is the main presenter in our family. Oh, yep. Dig those fingers in.
I think plating with hands is always a good idea. And my hands are very clean. Please do trust me on that. I wash them constantly here in this kitchen. But you just end up with the ability to create these kind of nice shapes.
Yeah, nice.
Without things kind of being bashed up a bit too much. So
I'm enjoying the colours and the way that's got a lot of bright green, which I love.
It is lovely.
You've got the salmon in there, you've got the avocado in there, and what do you reckon? A hint of flaked almonds on top?
Absolutely. We'll put some almonds on top.
Brilliant.
And I think that is going to be a delicious dish.
That's fabulous. Absolutely. And the whole thing is about 600 calories, so that's a very light meal.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Huh. 5 sliced pork and lettuce cups and a hot smoked salmon salad. Okay, let's try the lettuce cups, the sang choy bao.
I think this is my first ever sanchoy bao. Yeah. They're good. Held together nicely.
Yes?
Delicious.
Thumbs up. I'll take that.
The lime is very good in it.
The lime just pops every flavour in there.
I actually really like the coconut aminos. Like, I can taste it quite prominently, like more prominently than the fish sauce or anything. It's lovely. Okay, Michael, the hot smoked salmon salad with all the good things.
Packed full of good things, exactly. All the nuts and things like that.
I love the chili in it. I really do. That tastes too good to be healthy.
Yeah, nope.
If I ate this for dinner, I would wake up thinking that I was going to be a superhero. This is like, this is healthy, right?
Yeah.
It's super healthy, yeah. It was very filling as well. Lots and lots of fibre in here.
Very filling, and all of that we made was sort of 600 calories, you were saying.
Absolutely. So what you're eating is about an equivalent of less than 200 calories. That's less than a small bar of chocolate. So you can get some really good food, lots of volume, lots of fibre, really good for your microbiome, really good for your sleep, and it only takes minutes to do.
Phenomenal. While we're eating, I wanted to actually get some more advice from you, because free medical advice is always good when you've got a doctor at the end of the table.
Absolutely.
We've spoken a lot about the food that we can eat to help our sleep. And I think basically just eating healthily, that Mediterranean diet. What else can we do? Here are some accoutrements.
Indeed.
That you say can help us sleep a little bit better, Mark.
Yeah, so these are two devices which we feature on the Australian Sleep Revolution. Maybe you'd like to try these ones on. This is kind of a slightly prototypey look to it, but essentially put it on. There you go, looking cool, looking good.
Like American football players in the future.
You've got to creep it up a bit. I think it's probably a bit loose on you.
Coachella with these as well?
So the idea here is that the bright light is going into the eyes, and that helps reset your internal clock. So, for example, if your problem is that you feel sleepy during the morning, you're an owl, you find it difficult to get up, then you need to expose yourself to bright light. Conversely, someone like me who, gets sleepy in the early evening, I need to do it late at night.
What does this do?
Okay.
Whoa.
Exactly. That's a buzzy thing. That is for people who snore. Do anyone know anyone who snores?
I've been told that on occasion, if I have a couple of glasses of wine at dinner.
Well, put that on around your neck.
Okay.
Okay.
You put it on your neck.
You put it on around your neck, exactly like that. It can detect when you're lying on your back, and it then gives you a little buzz, and that is enough to prompt you to roll over onto your side. And the reason that you snore and you sometimes develop a more serious sleep problem called sleep apnea, where, you stop breathing at times, is because you're on your back, your tongue is blocking your airways, and that's creating all these vibrations, if you like.
Okay.
So these are just some of the tech which we feature in the series and play around with. It's really, really interesting.
Well, I cannot wait to watch it. I'm going to sleep better, even just knowing that it's on.
Me too.
Michael Briney, thank you so much for joining me. It's been
Thanks for
wonderful.
having me, Adam.
Well, there it is. We've given the nod to 3 recipes bound to help you nod off. And if you want more of The Cook Up, head to SBS On Demand. I'm Adam Liaw. Thank you for watching The Cook Up.